Have you ever harvested squash before, son?
No.
Okay, so I'll teach you and everyone else at the same time. Okay, so here's what you do. I know these are not spineless, they have little spines. So right here where this is, try to clip it around that. There you go. And that gives that little talk. If not,
So
it'll
sharp.
expose the squash. Not too bad, huh? Let's see it. It's not a bad size. Those will swell up to be massive in a day or so. That was little, yes. What are you looking for?
Squash.
Squash, okay. I know there were a couple more of them around.
Oh, here's a big one.
Harvested the same way I just showed you. Watch out for those spines of the squash. They're sharp. I probably need to get some gardening gloves for you guys. Oh, that one's going to be tricky. You might have to move. Look, see that branch that's laying over the top of it?
Yeah.
Go ahead and grab that. You're going to have to move it out of the way to be able to... Ow! I'm sorry. Go ahead. A little bit further down. You don't want to snip... Yeah, there you go. Because if you're too close to the squash, it'll snip the top of it off and expose it. And then it won't store as long, so you'll have to cook it much more quickly. No, don't do that. That's what I'm talking about. So this top right here on the squash, if you snip it too close, it'll expose the top part of the squash, and then it won't last very long on the counter. You'll pretty much have to process it that same day. Would you find a squash bug? Oh, you're just clipping off the thing. Silly goose. It's amazing how big these plants are, huh?
Yeah.
There's some down here, they're not ready to harvest, but they will be in a day or so. I'll put this one in here. So yesterday I harvested 9 squash. Some of them this size, some of them about 3 times this size. I feel like squash are a lot like okra. You really need to come out twice a day if they're getting close to make sure that they don't get too big, because they can get kind of tough. Here's one. Oh, it's a little smaller. You may want to wait until this evening, or you can go ahead and pick it. You want what do you want?
Oh, I found a decent one. It's just really got.
Which one? Oh,
Okay.
I'd say that one's still a little small.
Not great.
If this evening it'd probably be ready. Look at this. There's one in here. You can go ahead and clip it, or you can wait till tonight. You see it? Between those 2 flowers at the very bottom?
Yeah. This one?
Oh, hold on, baby.
This thing?
Yeah, actually it looks a little smaller than I thought. Let's go ahead and wait. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, look.
Bumblebee.
I think that's a honeybee. A couple of them. Bumblebees are those big, round, they look like fuzzy little bouncy balls. Hey, let's check these squash plants while we're over here. I know, he scares. Oh, shoot. Hey, do me a favor, cut this leaf off right here. If you look down in there, a couple of them are cracked in half. Go ahead and cut those back. You close the clippers. They're hard to open sometimes.
This?
No, look at this branch and this branch of the squash plant. They're both broken. Go ahead and cut those off, because they're going to rot on the plant. It'll make a mess. Okay.
Here's
And
the
this
other
one, this one, but I think you can just pull it. Look at that. I don't usually give the squash plants to the geese because they do have those spines on them. Although the geese may not care. I don't know. Just throw them in the compost. Look at that. Poison ivy's growing into this berry plant down here. I'm going to have to go get my gloves and pull that out. What, baby? I don't know if there are very many blackberries left, because I came out early this morning and harvested them. Whoa, there's another branch. I'm guessing because these plants are so close together, I'm actually breaking... Oh, here you go. Here you go, son. Check this out. Try to switch hands and hold this camera with my left hand.
That's a huge squash.
I know. It is a huge squash. Clip it at that very top. See? Yeah, there you go.
Is that it?
Yep. I just don't think you went all the way through because of the size of the squash. Oh, you got it. You got it.
I can't. Got it.
Let me see.
Whoa.
Great job, buddy. Great job. Go ahead, throw it in your bowl. That, and look, sometimes, like, I break those branches. Honestly, I might need to thin some of these. They're just breaking left and right. Trust me, there's more. I'm gonna have to get some gloves because these squash are spiny. Here's one. It's probably about big enough. You could wait for it to get a little bigger, but I think, look, actually that's not too bad. I know there's another one in here too. God bless you. All right, where is it? I see a strawberry plant that is hidden under the squash.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, look at that.
Ladybugs.
I know there are a lot of ladybugs over there. Hey, look at this one. My guess is it'll be ready by this evening. So that one's a pretty good sized squash. That's on the back plant, and this one's on the front plant. The back plant, it seems like the squash are always lighter in color. I think we're doing pretty good. Hey, you want to pick these branches and go ahead and throw them in the compost piles, son? That big one too, goofball. That's gonna clip right through it. That's funny. You're so silly. There's not very many blackberries ready because I came out. That's why I had that blackberry I tried to give you this morning to eat. I came out and got about 1.5 pints of blackberries. I usually put them in those quart bags, but your brother gave me, what was it? A gallon bag yesterday, and I was in the garden with like 2 handfuls of blackberries, sorry. I wasn't about to argue with him. Hey, look at this carrot. It looks like it's bolting. Look how big the tops of the carrot is. You want to pull it and see if it's ready?
No.
No? I'm surprised. Always trying to... Wait, is this a carrot top? It's, the top of it's thick, but I don't know if the carrot itself is ready. Should we harvest any more carrots, or are you mostly... Are you guys still eating the carrots, or are you just giving them to the animals?
I eat them.
How do you know when they're ready? That's like the #1 question people ask me when they're first growing carrots. It's how I know when the carrots are ready. You want to tell them how you know when your carrots are big enough to eat?
I pick them.
Oh, you just pick them and then...
Actually, I wait 3 months and then.
So you just do it based off of how long they've been in the ground?
Because they said 90 days.
I didn't remember what type of carrot that we planted, let alone that.
It takes 90 days before we...
I wait until the tops of them start pushing up out of the ground. That way I can see how big they are up top. But yeah, sometimes I plant so much, and if I don't write it down, like the carrots, I hadn't made my chart for the spring season on what vegetables I'm planting where. And so, yeah, I had no idea. Hey, look at this carrot.
It's huge.
It is a good, nice thick carrot. You want it? You want to give it to your rabbit?
Yeah.
All right, here, buddy. Boop.
Got it.
Here, thank you. So, I didn't think about it. You want me to pull up 2 more for the other 2 rabbits or no?
Sure.
All right, and let's see. This actually has, look at that, it has a ladybug hanging out in it. Just kind of shake it off. It'll go to a different plant. Some of these carrots feel thick on top, but when you pull them up, oh my gosh, look at this. That's a good sized carrot. It's pretty bigger than this. Well, I'd say it's about the diameter of a quarter. It's pretty good size. Look at the stalks on this carrot. It's huge. But it ended up being a short fat carrot there. Trying to thin some of these out because they grow so close together. So like these are not very big at all because they've had 2 or 3 massive carrots growing around them. Same here. These are all smaller because they're growing so close together. And I really should thin those. Look at this. One of those Chandler strawberries we planted are growing inside the carrots. And I really need to start clearing a lot more carrots out to make room for all those strawberries that are finally... Wow! This is literally the biggest carrot root I've ever pulled up. It's not the longest, but it's certainly the fattest. Look at this! Look at this!
That's huge!
It's huge! You want to help me harvest some of these?
Sure. My feet are wet now.
Is it wet out there? I wonder if it rained. Did it rain again last night? I don't remember it raining. Oh, I listen to rain sounds when I'm... What, baby? This is a good sized carrot too.
I did drag my foot on the ground for a little bit. Water got all over it.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, are those your new shoes too?
Yeah.
Well, hey, was it raining last night or no?
Yeah.
Oh. I knew it was night before last. So I actually turn on rain sounds every night to fall asleep to. And I can't tell when it's actually raining outside because of that.
That's a huge carrot.
They're all huge. I can't believe how big they are. But you said they've been down here for 90 days already,
Nope.
so...
We left them for longer.
Oh, so we left them for longer than we should have.
Yeah, that's how
I always say the ground is the best place to store carrots. I want to try growing some larger size carrots. Well, this one's small. Look at that sad looking carrot. Oh, you know why? Because look, there's all these little carrots around it too. Those would be good for your animals. Where's the carrot at? I see the turnips, all that. I guess it's down here. Oh, is this a carrot? No way.
What the heck it is?
Look how thick and long these tops are. That's insane. What is that, 2 feet long? Let's see. Yeah, that's insane. It's a lot of greenery on a carrot.
Just on the carrot first of all.
I'm trying to clear out as many carrots that are ready as possible so the other ones will grow up, but also because the things that I planted in between when the carrots weren't big yet, like the strawberries and stuff, are finally starting to kind of grow because it's getting to be the right temperature outside.
Yeah, and they're getting so big.
Yeah, they're getting bigger.
That's some huge carrots.
I know, I can't believe it. All right, well, go ahead and see if there's any you want to, that's a decent size for you to harvest so we can start clearing out some of these carrots. This carrot is weird looking. I think this is like definitely an animal carrot. So a couple of weird ones in here.
That one's good. It has a bloody.
The little one too. They'll eat the greens. If not, the geese will eat the greens of the carrots.
Yeah,
But I'm pretty sure. Now with rabbits, yeah, I know she does. Your rabbit eats everything. What are you talking about? She does. She doesn't like me still. Every time like I go in there, she runs to the back of her cage. She's like, no thank you, go away, human. His rabbit is not fond of me, never has been. But she loves him. She will run up to him the minute he goes into that coop and wants to be pet. And it's so funny because he can even grab her to bring her out into the house. But if I go near her, she gets upset. And she's even been known to like kind of give, I guess you would call it a growl, kind of a warning sound off towards me, which is really funny. If you don't know, rabbits make a lot of different noises, and some of them, like the ones when they're hurt, are terrifying. That is a forked carrot. It is still edible. What it looks like is 3 carrots either grew together because they're seeded close, but some carrots can just get forked like this, especially when there's a lot of nutrients in the soil. So, that's okay. Ooh, a little squash bug. I don't think so, squash bug. Better get out of here. I squished it because that's something we don't want in the garden. It's a bunch of little squash bugs. I'm gonna try and zoom out. I'm sure it's getting a little, sorry about my hand in the way. I'm sure it's getting a little hard to see when I'm bending down over the carrots exactly what's going on. So this one's a little smaller. It seems that the carrots on this side did not grow as fast as the carrots towards the end of the bed. And that could be because there were turnips growing here at one point. This one may be ready. It's a little small. The ones that are way too small, he's feeding to the animals. And what we don't do, though, is give them carrots as their only feed because they're full of sugar. And it's not necessarily good for the rabbits to have that much sugar, you know. I guess it would be like the equivalent of giving kids candy all the time. Look at these carrots. That's a good amount of carrots. Those are nice roots.
They're huge.
This one especially. What if they all looked like that?
That'd be insane.
Yeah.
Our biggest carrot was huge.
Definitely. I think there's actually more than one type.
We got a huge carrot one day. It was like the size of my waistband.
Yeah, they get big. I think what had happened is I seeded carrots and they didn't come up, and plus there are carrots here from last year's.
Yeah, that's insane. We have
too, so they just came up at different times.
a little cookie thing.
It looks like one of the carrots are over there behind the blackberry plant. Can you go pick it?
I don't know. It is.
Go around, I'll point it out.
Oh, I see it.
Do you see it?
Right here.
I guess the seed when we watered, washing it. Yeah, grab it. Can you grab it? There,
No,
it's right here.
I can see that.
We'll just pull it up because look, these are thornless. They don't have any thorns or spines
I
on
don't
them.
think I can grab that.
You have some long arms. Come on, man. I can't grab it. Not from this side. Maybe I can. Hold on. Yeah,
Is it impossible?
it's way in the back on the other side. That's why. That's a weird looking carrot.
Bulb.
It is literally a bulb.
carrot.
Looks like a little
It's called a
bouncy
bulb
ball.
carrot.
Oh, okay. It's
That's
called
the
a
name.
bulb carrot. Oh, that makes sense. Or there's kind of like the Paris market carrots that we grew.
I don't know.
We've seeded so many different types of carrots. It's funny how,
I'm gonna go get some too.
look, one of those Swiss chard plants did grow. It ended up growing on the other side.
Hey, Mom.
Yes, sir.
I'm thirsty.
Hi, Thirsty. I'm Mom.
No tea. Thirsty.
Oh, you're going to get tea?
Yeah.
Very funny. He says he's thirsty because he's going to get some tea to drink. So he's funny. Just playing on words. I don't see very many carrots left that are harvestable yet. There are definitely some weeds and stuff growing in here, which we need to clear out. Look at all this vegetation. And this is a turnip, but all of this stuff doesn't need to be in here. But when things get so thick, man, it gets hard to tell. Benefits of having the compost bin right there at the edge of the garden. Trust me. It makes all the difference in the world to be able to just throw it. Oh man. Oh wow. Look at that. There's a blackberry. I was trying to pull out the weeds. I actually got a hold of it. Look how massive that is. I've never seen a blackberry that size. Wow. Compared to my thumb, I cannot wait till he gets back out here so I can show him how big this berry is. He's gonna lose his mind over it. That's incredible. Look at it compared to this, what he calls the ball carrot. Look at that. It's bigger than the carrot. Hey Larry, you have to see the size of this blackberry, son. So you can see how these are kind of growing crazy. Everything else, this whole area needs to be weeded. By that ball carrot, I found this blackberry by accident. I was pulling out weeds and it pulled up a piece of the blackberry bush that I couldn't access before. And that was at the end of it.
What the heck? It's huge.
It's huge. Do you think we should harvest some of these turnips? I guess we could give them to the geese. I'm kind of turniped out personally. We have like, what?
We grew that. radishes one time, but we gave them to the
Yeah, we do. We've grown radishes a few times. And
yeah, but the one time we were actually got like almost 100, yeah, we gave them all.
yeah, that's true. I'm going to give all of these turnips to the geese and kind of clear out this area because I think it's time to plant more spring and summer crops. And you can see when the blackberries that was green fell off. And these are taking up a lot of space. We already have like 10-gallon bags, maybe more, but 10 that I know of in the one freezer just from this year alone. And there are still so many turnips. It's crazy. I've been feeding these to the geese and everything else, and they're really starting to trap a lot of aphids and other pests because it's getting so warm. What do you want to grow here where these turnips were? I was thinking maybe some melons.
I was just about to say some watermelon.
This turnip, even though it's a...
That's a decent size.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
That's some big turnip.
I'm trying not to get those Chandler strawberries by accident. They're all inside of this mess. And they're starting to grow up, so...
There's some huge.
Here's one. Pretty good sized strawberry.
There's blackberries.
Yeah, we do. Those blackberries are very prolific.
Oh, wow.
They're one of my favorite plants in the garden.
Found one.
Found one of what?
Blackberry.
Let me see.
Come here.
Oh, okay, hold on. Where you at?
Blackberry.
Oh, you sure did. Look at that.
Just walk around.
Well, go ahead and pick it if you want to. You can eat it or we can put it in the bag inside. You like it? It's a little purple. The other one was probably the darkest and largest berry I've ever seen off this plant. Look at the grapevine just coming through, taking over.
It's just gonna wrap around the whole thing.
We've had this grapevine for a while. I was hoping that it would produce fruit this year. It's getting up there in age. And this is all 1 year growth, which is what grapevines produce fruit. Yeah. Because remember, for the first like 3 or 4 years, I cut the grapevines down to the ground. This one, I always forget exactly how old it is and how long I've grown it because I transplant it from a different area in the yard. Well, this one's one of the oldest ones I had. Because remember that time the ducks ate all the grape plants? I had to go buy more. People say ducks won't eat your plants. Huh? They will. They ate all of our grapevines. We actually had it buried outside the fence and they kind of used their claws to dig under it to eat them. So I don't know where when people say, oh, ducks are great, you can put them in the garden, they won't touch your plants. That is not true. I'm not even sure where people get that from. Maybe that's their experience, but I tell you what, it is not mine. And I always try to tell people that because I don't want them to be surprised when they see, ducks tearing apart the garden. Look at all these turnip greens. These are, the reason the roots don't look so great on these is really because these are a fodder turnip. And we grew them close together. We're not growing these for the roots. The roots are just kind of bonus. We're actually growing these very close together for all of these nutritious greens. Look at that. Look what I found. A little caterpillar. That needs to go because that will destroy. Actually looks like a leaf miner. And so we grow these for all the nutrition and the greens for both ourselves, but our geese because they really like greens. And these turnips grow so well. These are the turnips I got from Johnny Seed. Look at this. I'm glad we cleared this out. Vineweed. Look at that. Guys, my wild morning glory. Oh, man. Once it gets in here, that's it. Gorgeous, but such a pain in the rear end, this plant. We do not want that little sucker re-rooting in the garden. That's the thing. Things like vineweed get in here. They hide within the blackberries when they're thick. And if you don't prune out the blackberries, then before you know it, you have a huge infestation of plants that you don't want, that you didn't even know were there. That's a very real issue, So that's why I think it's so important to come in and check your crops and walk around. Plus, you could be really building a relationship with your garden and pride in your work. And I do believe in those things. My husband calls me a hippie. Say what you want, but I think there's some truth.
I just gave our geese, I took off a chunk of my banana plant.
I'm just gonna pull these,
Well, a leaf off my banana plant.
even though they're small.
The geese.
Give them to the geese.
Dorian tried to grab it, but he kept on falling.
Dorian's silly. Did he love it? Did he ever grab it, or did one of the other ones end up grabbing it?
All of them got it after all.
It looks like there's some wild dewberries in here, which
Wow, these are some big black.
I don't want, because I don't want them spreading diseases.
Like right here, there's a big blackberry. Hidden.
Let's see it.
Hidden blackberry.
Ooh, sure is.
It's gonna be, in like 2 days, it's probably gonna be ripe.
I would say this evening, once they start turning like that deep purple by the evening, that's why I say pick twice a day with blackberries, in the morning and in the afternoon.
The geese were
Look at this carrot. Oh my gosh.
huge. That's a big carrot.
Big, chunky little carrot.
Chunky.
I'm glad you like eating those carrots, because boy, you're going to have a lot to eat today. I would say we could make some carrot cake out of some of them, but you know what? We already have a ton of shredded carrots in that freezer. Isn't it crazy? We came out here and said we were going to harvest lettuce, and here we are.
Harvesting carrots.
Harvesting everything but lettuce.
We have to go harvest some lettuce to feed to the geese.
Yeah, and I really want to make a lettuce harvesting video, so I think that's something that we should do.
I'm gonna go harvest it. How do you even harvest lettuce?
I'm going to show you, because I think there are a few people that really want to know how to harvest lettuce. What? There's a blackberry plant in here that I started. I thought died, but it's in here. That's amazing. I need to transplant that somewhere else. Okay, well, we're actually going to go feed this to the geese and then go about our business, but I think what we're going to work on is harvesting lettuce, and we're going to go ahead and make a separate video on that, because a lot of people are really curious about how to harvest lettuce. So thank you guys for hanging out with us. We're just hanging out together in the garden. We're the only two awake in our house, so we thought we'd just hang out and do some garden work, but we're definitely going to go ahead and start harvesting that lettuce and make a video specifically on harvesting lettuce for you guys, which is why we came out here. But
Harvest the lettuce.
you did. Look at you. It's hard not to get distracted in the beauty and amazement of the garden. And look at this. Hey babe, this blackberry dehydrated on the plant.
What the heck?
I guess it was in there and we didn't even notice it.
Dehydrated blackberries.
Yeah. Oh, I think I squished the blackberry. I stepped on it. Oh, darn. I squished it. Guys, Ship stepped on that giant blackberry that I picked and there's still half of it left. That's hilarious. Alright, well, thank you guys for hanging out with us. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.